This is my garage, and like always, every Wednesday I like to cover vehicles on this channel, and we primarily like to focus on its technology instead of just overall general review. So this right here, if you haven't guessed already by looking at the title, is the brand new Outbound 130, which means we have the extended version of the Defender lineup, but this one is equipped with the Outbound option, which means what originally would be a third row seat, there's no third row. If you settle with the Outbound, you do not have a third row option, unfortunately, which is a pro and a con. One of the biggest pros is perfect if you only have 2 kids, because you could sit 5 adults here just fine. There's 5 seats. But if you do need additional seats, you may want to opt out from the Outbound. But this being the Outbound version, which means hauling Costco, doing Costco hauls is super convenient, or overlanding would be super cool too, because there's actually a sunroof in the cargo area, which is quite interesting. So all that and more in today's video. So the Outbound version, MSRP price is $85,000. This one with a few options, you're looking still just under $90,000. So it's reasonably priced nowadays, because let's be real, new, especially SUVs, are expensive. The Jeep Wagoneer would be the next thing I could think of that would be competing against this. So you can either settle with a Jeep and deal with its reliability issues, or you can settle with something like this. And the majority of owners who's looking into one of these are honestly probably just gonna lease it. Because even though this is using a reliable inline 6, it's pretty sluggish. It's a mid-hybrid. Ventilated on the bottom side for your rear passengers, as well as ventilation vents on top. You also got baby anchor points right there, all hidden alongside the seats in the middle row, which average around 17 miles per gallon, which is really good for a full-size SUV like this, because again, it qualifies for the tax benefits if you're using this for a business. So let's talk about the Outbound. So with the Outbound, we get these aggressive tires, standard 20-inch wheels. You get this gunmetal gray tint over the emblems, as you see right here. Even the Land Rover emblem is darker than it normally is. It's super sleek and pretty elegant looking. Even the bottom portion of this lower grille is also like that as well. It has like that gunmetal gray vibe. And get this, the color choices available are only 4, and they're all gray or some type of shade of gray. So you have white, 2 gray options, and black. Those are the only 4 color choices you could buy with Outbound package, which I thought was kind of funny. But continues having these steppers over the hood, functional air vents, which these are also functional because I feel heat escaping right here, which is kind of interesting. And right now the Defender is on its lowest ride height because we are in the garage. I don't want it to run into anything. And these are good years. So the size of these tires are 255/60 R20s. And these are also all weather. So these are snow rated as well. So basically all terrain. As it does not have the little snowflake mountain, but it does have the snowflake logo right there. And I want to say these are 33-inch wheels. If I'm wrong, I'll have the correct answer in a bit in the bottom. But you have massive piston calipers in the front, and it also continues in the rear. Oh no, I'm sorry. It comes with standard piston calipers in the back over here, which is good enough to stop this vehicle safely, I must say. This is equipped with the 360 cameras, as you have cameras all over the place, all around this vehicle, which does have the unique looking underneath the ground when you're driving, so you can see the lines and stuff. It uses memory, but functional fog lamps here, more cameras. Let's go ahead and pop the hood and talk more about this 385 horsepower inline 6 mid-hybrid engine. Okay, so I'm gonna try opening this up with one hand. Wish me luck. All right, it's impossible. I need 2 hands to do this. There we go. So same engine as before. Inline 6, same engine cover, air in tank. You are using OW20 oil. It's extremely hot because I was driving this not too long ago. And yeah, same inline engine that we see in the 2023 models. Maintenance wise, it's going to be somewhat challenging. You are going to be required to move a lot of things just to get access to the spark plugs, as an example. Your throttle is actually located not in the center, but I'm assuming it's right there because I see a sensor that goes to the throttle body. It's kind of hard to tell, but yes, the throttle body is right there. It's tied up with a bunch of vacuum lines and other hoses and stuff. And then the spark plug, so you see it right here. The first two are exposed, but the rest of them require you to remove a couple of things, including this old massive air manifold it looked like. And here's the second throttle body as well. As you can see, the little throttle position sensor located right there, which is quite crazy. So it has two throttle bodies. Let me verify. Yep, this crazy thing does have two throttle bodies. That's pretty crazy. Comment down below if I'm wrong or right. But this looks like a throttle body on both sides, which is quite interesting. I'm like looking everywhere online to make sure this is a throttle body. And I'm having a hard time finding out if this does have two or just one. But this does look like a second one because there's a plastic bit over here that matches. See that silver trim piece? Hopefully the camera can pick that up. That silver piece looks like the throttle body position sensor. And if we look closely over here, it matches that of the other one, just flipped upside down. So comment down below. I'll pin the person who knows better than I do. But I'm saying this has two throttle bodies. But let's go ahead and move on and talk about maintaining. It's definitely above average. It's not simple. Spark plugs are hard to reach, but you do have quick access to your oil as well as a proper dipstick. You don't have to rely on like sensors like BMWs do. So it's in the middle in terms of difficulty. And if we look underneath, in terms of easy access to the oil filter and oil drain, there's pre-made holes down there. So it looks possible. Let me go inside and see if I can find the oil filter. Doesn't help the fact that I lowered it to the lowest setting. Although there's a lot of nice skid plates down here. It ends past the transmission though. But you are probably going to require to remove some of those skid plates on the bottom. But the two throttle bodies, I'm pretty sure definitely does help for the high horsepower this vehicle is able to get. Because this is an inline six, coming close to 400 horsepower. So very similar to like the Mustang with the new dual throttle bodies. I'm sure it's helping this thing a lot in terms of airflow and power. So like every Defender, all door handles are smart door handles. But let's talk about this box, because here's the key to the Defender, traditional Defender key, nothing out of the ordinary. But these keys right here is what required to open up the box. And if we do open it up, there's no like special button to like open it, to pop it open. It's just the one twist of the keys and you have access to it. And it does lock into place. I'm not really 100% sure what to place in here, but again, if I was overlanding, I'll probably put like my grill or something like that in here. It even includes this to keep it all tight. But that's basically it. I don't know if I want to keep a jerry can in here, but it'll definitely make it easier to clean up in case it does spill versus inside the vehicle itself. So taking this out, removing the keys automatically puts this thing into lock. So I just do that and it stays put. Gas is only available here in the States from my understanding, and it's premium fuel only. This extra port is for the diesel version in the UK. That's why there's two for that blue fuel, I believe. Now the glass is actually covered, which is was kind of funny for the Defender. Only the Outbound has the cover on the glass. If this was a standard 130 with the third row, this will be glass. The glass will still be exposed, but I think the proper reason why it's covered is for the protection for the ladder to prevent yourself from accidentally damaging it. So you do need the keys to have access to the ladder. It's not automatic, unfortunately. And this one, once you open it, you can remove the keys and this will remain unlocked. Oh, I twisted it the wrong way. There we go. So now I can remove the key and now this will always be unlocked and ready. And it does require some force, a good amount of force to unlatch this because it's held together from right here as well as on the bottom. So this does stay secure when you need it. So I need two hands for this. Let me drop the camera. There we go. So I unlatched it. So it's latched right there. And it also latches from like a mid portion right here. And then this just simply folds out. It's pretty wobbly, I'm not gonna lie, but it's straight enough for you to easily go on top. So you just do a big hop and then climb. And then again, if you're overlanding, you'll have like your tent set up here, making it easier for you to get in or load stuff if you have a rack on the roof as well. It's really interesting. But from what I found out, you really do not need to have the ladder open up, because if you fold it up, you could just really just hop from the tire and jump onto there. So it's cool, but not really necessary for all people. But the inside, very similar to Defender. Inside is massive. You got the massive sunroof right here, which does open up from that portion, not past the support beam back here. The seats are tilted. You have USB-A, USB-A ports, AC control, AC vents. Your center row does have access to cup holders. And as I previously stated, there is no third row back here, unfortunately. But just like every good European car, you do have your hazard triangle right here and ready to be used in case of emergency. And a cool little storage here as well. But if you look closely, you do have glass with actual like heat dissipation systems right here to defrost your rear glass. It's just deactivated since this is the Outbound. And you do have your sunroof, which you could actually manually open or close. Unfortunately, it's all manual, which I think is kind of interesting. Household outlet is located here, as well as a 12 volt. And this silver trim piece allows you to remove this, unveiling your fuse box basically. So you do have quick access to your fuse box whenever you need to change something. But the back here is quite interesting because there's no third row, but yet you still have vents right here, little cubbies, a household outlet, a 12 volt outlet, lighting, which leads me to believe that this is primarily used if you're camping in your vehicle, as you can just fold down these seats. You can even push the seats forward too if you have back passengers back here. But if we go ahead and just fold down these seats flat completely, now you have a massive amount of storage for the back over here, as well as tie down hooks. And you have your floor jack over here as well. And then I did take the liberty to remove the little cargo mat, which exposes this heavy duty, like durable skid plate thing. But right here, if you pull hard enough, will unveil a hidden compartment, which allows you to store like tools or other small stuff you may have here. This is just like a front license plate bracket, as well as other stuff for this Defender. What is this actually? Land Rover. Let's see what's inside the mystery box. Key fobs, basically the two key fobs that comes included with the Land Rover, as well as other accessories and the extra key fob. That's all that's in here. Folded back up in the back row, you can actually fold down the center row down, so you could actually allow like either plywood, skis, or other things, long stuff that you need to pass through this second row seat to the console, so you have more space to store long stuff on the go. And something I nearly forgot to talk about is the button back here. You have the ability to raise and lower the car right back here in case you need to give yourself more clearance to like load stuff. There's a raise up and lower button, so we could raise this on demand right here, which is quite awesome. I covered that in, again, my previous Defender video in case you haven't watched that. Make sure to watch this at the end of the video. But hopping into the Defender, in the back, there's a lot of headspace. I'm 5'8" and I have a ton of extra headspace available. I have like a good amount, like 5 inches or 8 inches of headspace. Somebody, tall people, I'm sure will have no problem sitting back here, especially if you get the massive sunroof. You got storage cubbies, more storage on the door. No heated seats in the back, unfortunately. Your AC control. And yeah, let's go and move on to the driver point of view now. The thing that I personally have noticed is that all the Defenders I've driven in the past, the 2022 models, the 2023, they all had like jets right here to wash the headlights. For some reason on the 2024 Outbound, it doesn't have that. I'm not 100% sure if they removed it for the Outbounds, but I'm sure it still is available on some 2024s. I'm not sure if this is an option. When I was building this one on Land Rover website, there was no mention about the jets in the headlights. Hopping into the Defender. Here it is, and it's all glory. Super nice. This is the new updated massive screen that the newer Defenders have. Very high resolution. And the thing that I like about all Defenders is this massive panoramic sunroof, because this, you could close this or have it set so the vehicle itself will open. It will close whenever you get out of the vehicle and will automatically open when you get back in the vehicle. If you like to set this up, this is my favorite tip about this car. This is my favorite feature about this car. You just need to go into your vehicle settings, go into all, go in vehicle, and then go into convenience, and then where it says vehicle access, wait, not vehicle access, it's windows, there it is. And where it says automatic roof blinds, enable this, so now whenever you get in your car, it will automatically open and will automatically close as soon as you lock the vehicle to prevent the interior from heating up. So as I lock the car, let's get out. If I lock it, it automatically closes so the interior doesn't overcook. It's just one of the most amazing things that this car has to offer. I also like this instrument cluster because it allows you to customize it to your own personal preference, but also the 360 view is quite amazing as well. And then you got towing and off-roading views, so like to be able to be selected here as well. And as you're driving around, you can actually see like the bottom of the car. See, it tends to fade away now because it's actually saving a cache image when we were driving over it. So it uses sensors to make sure that it's correct, which makes parking extremely easy, especially when you're trying to see the lines. See, that's pretty cool. No other car I've tested and driven has that feature. And to go home and get out of this, you just tap home. And it does feature CarPlay and as well as Android Auto, wired or wireless. And in this, if you like to customize it, you can just long hold and you have full ability to customize it to your own personal preference. And you can also clean the air quality of this vehicle, as it will actually show you data not just from the outside but also the inside of the cabinet, and will always clean up to your own personal preference, as you could track ion, CO2 or purify. And then these cool physical buttons is your AC control. I like the fact you can still press and use an actual knob instead of deal with everything touchscreen. Everything is right here and accessible. And to change your seats, you just push once, and does support ventilation as well as heated seats as well. And then for your steering wheel control, heated steering wheel, it's located. Your heated steering wheel button is located here. Lane keep assist, everything else very standard. Your favorite button's located here, which allows you to quickly customize into your own personal preference. And then sport mode is located by putting this vehicle in sport drive and then moving this to sport, and you could plus or minus gears from here if you want to, or you can just leave in sport and it will do it automatically. But yeah, plenty of storage. I like this a lot. You even have a mini fridge right here, which has 2 levels, super chill or for your drinks. Ton of storage. You even have a digital rear mirror, which is optional, but this one comes included with it. And you can adjust the height as well as the brightness all right here. You do have a heads-up display. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but that is a heads-up display, which is one of the best heads-up display I've seen. Long par was BMW's heads-up display. I'm actually quite impressed. And this whole entire instrument cluster is digital, and it's a bunch of different themes to choose from. Again, I cover all this in my previous video I've covered in the Defender. Again, I highly recommend watching that if you're more interested in the technology side of things. But other than that, it's a beautiful car. I really do like this interior. The steering wheel is amazing. Everything feels nice and robust, which means I'm not afraid to expose this interior to like kids, as an example. The material on this thing is so forgivable. We even have actual car paints right here. This is actually exposed paint to the body of the car. So just give you an idea of the type of materials you're working with. And this is durable, like rubber, soft plastic. Feels extremely heavy duty. I even like the grille color that has going on right here. This steering wheel does have the automatic recline, which is all controlled with this knob, which not only allows you to adjust the steering wheel column, but if you toggle it to auto, whenever we turn off the car, the steering wheel will retract, as you see right there. It's nice, it's luxurious. It's a durable luxury SUV, as I will describe it. And turning these back seats on, we only have climate control back here. There's no heated seats in the rear passengers, unfortunately, with this trim model. just give me the heads up. Look for that if you're shopping around and you expect it to have heated seats. Verify in the back there. And notice that the Defender logo right here on the door sill actually do illuminate, and there's a nice projector that will illuminate at night. That is all the cool stuff about the Defender Outbound 130. I don't know why I said it that way, but you know what I mean. Again, I've covered 3 other Defender videos on this channel. This is the 3rd one. So if you'd like to watch the previous one where I go more in depth inside the computer, if you're shopping around, I highly recommend watching that video right there and just skip to this time so you don't have to rewatch everything. But I got more in depth and like hidden features, tips and tricks, and some cool things you could do with that cool Defender computer that's inside all these Defenders. Thank you so much for watching.